Sing a song.
Finally, it's here. I've been waiting for this chance. I could be on Broadway if only I could dance.
So, what is up, guys? This is Nick here from Everything Tech, and welcome to this Google Assistant review for your Apple iPhone. So, if you're watching Google I/O a couple of days ago, they had the live stream where everybody could go ahead and watch it, and they announced that they are bringing the Google Assistant, which was originally announced for the Google Pixel, to your Apple iPhone device. And in this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about it. So, if you go ahead and head into the App Store and just type in simply in the search bar Google Assistant, you should see a search query pop up in the App Store for it. And if we scroll down a little bit, you can see that all of the Google services are available, but if you look a little bit closer here, you'll now see in the App Store that you do have the Google Assistant right there. And I will leave the link to this application down below in the description area of this video. But basically what this is an intelligent assistant that competes directly with Siri and services like Samsung's Bixby, as well as services like Microsoft's Cortana. And this is a really handy assistant. It's been well received and many people do like it. You can get help managing your day, control your home without lifting a finger, find any photos just by asking, enjoy your entertainment. It's basically the Siri of Google. So if we go down here, you can see that this is a size of 149 megabytes. So this is one of the downfalls of having it on iPhone, is that it is going to take a little bit of space. And if you're the type that doesn't have any storage on your smartphone right now, this might not work for you at this current moment until you go ahead and clear up some space. So that's a downfall, that it does take space on the phone, whereas all Android devices pretty much now come with it. Not all, but flagship Android devices pretty much come with Google Assistant built right in there. So 149 megabyte download, at least here on my iPhone 7 Plus. So taking a closer look, you can see right there is the application and what it looks like, basically the Google Assistant logo. And heading into the application, you can see that we do have the ability to now type the questions we want to ask. So we can say weather, for example, here, and we can go ahead and see that it's going to show the weather. Now, if you do type, it will not talk to you. So that's good if you're in class or something, you just want to get a quick search query, or you're in a quiet environment. You don't want to hear Google Assistant talking. You could just type in messages like, how long is the Great Wall of China, for example, and it'll give you the search query answer right here. Now, I do want to mention one thing about Google Assistant. There's a couple of things that this does not do. For example, it will not set alarms here on the iPhone. So if I go ahead and say, wake me up at 5 o'clock p.m., you can see nothing does pop up. I cannot set alarms on iPhones. But if I go into Siri, wake me up at 5 a.m.,
I've set an alarm for 5 a.m.
So Siri does have access to a lot of basic system functions that you're not going to find on Google Assistant. For example, turn off my Wi-Fi.
I can't change Wi-Fi settings on iPhones.
You see? And is my Wi-Fi on?
Yes, Wi-Fi
So you can
is
see,
on.
once again, you do have basic function access on Siri, where you don't get that for the iPhone or the Google Assistant for iPhone. Navigating the application's UI a little bit closer here, if we go up here, it does have an Explore tab where it basically says, hi Nick, explore and do more just by asking or tapping. So this section basically tells you what you need to know about this app, what you can ask it, and give you a little taste of what you can do. Now, it doesn't tell you everything you can do. There's so much more you can do, as we seen it could sing in the beginning of this video. Pretty solid singer nonetheless, but you can see it can call people, you can ask it questions, text messages, Gmail, education, and reference, and so much more. So you can see these are all kind of just suggestions to get you started with the application here. That's built right into the app itself. You got home control, health and fitness, food and drink, arts and lifestyle, movies and photos, travel and transportation, business and finance. So I mean, it truly is an assistant here, you know, added into the iPhone experience, and it gives you the option now to use it here for iPhone, where now you have Siri and Apple support. Also, you do have Google support here. So iPhone really gives you the best of both worlds here with this now. So I'm kind of shocked that Apple actually allowed this on their platform. It just shows that, you know, Apple is becoming a little bit more open, you know, and not restricting other, you know, companies from putting stuff on their devices. devices here. But you can see it'll say your stuff, and if you hit this three-dot menu, it will also show you the about, and you can see if we go into about, this is version number 1.0609. So if you're watching this video maybe 3 months or 6 months, a year later, this is a review of this software on version 1.0609. So this will be updated in the future. Maybe it will support functions later on if Apple opens up, you know, the iPhone a little bit more, but I'm not sure about that. And you can see terms of services, legal notices, and things like that in the application as well. But heading over into the three-dot menu, if you go into My Activity, it will actually show you all your previous search queries that you had for that day, which is kind of cool to go ahead and see that. Now, a lot of these functions, if not more, are accessible on Android devices, but it's nice to see that this is kind of a full-fledged app here for iPhone. It is a little bit hobbled, but it does give you quite a bit here overall. So you can just ask it questions normally, like, what's the weather today?
In Chicago today, it'll be rainy with a forecasted high of 52 and a low of 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
What's 55 times 2?
55 by 2 is 110.
What is your name?
Did I forget to introduce myself? I'm your Google Assistant.
You're funny.
I'm ready for an open mic.
Tell me a joke.
One joke coming up. What do you do if an elephant swallows you? Run around in circles till you're all pooped out.
Who is Siri?
Siri is Apple's intelligent assistant. She's very witty.
So you can see that Google Assistant is very accurate and it's picking up my voice very easily, and I'm at least maybe 2 feet away from this iPhone right now. And this experience is actually really good on the iPhone 7 series of devices due to the fact that you do have the stereo speakers. So it is really loud. The Google Assistant is really loud because of the stereo speakers. Now that's a hardware function. If you got a device like, you know, the Nexus 6 or something like that, you probably already know what that's like, you know, but not a lot of devices have stereo speakers anymore, so the Google Assistant is very loud here for the iPhone 7 series of devices. Now I also do want to mention that there is a widget available here for the Assistant, which makes it a little bit easier to get to. It's still not as accessible as Siri because there is no function here from the home button, meaning if you're in the lock screen and you want to hold it down, like you can go right into Siri real easily like that, and you cannot change that here in iPhone, whereas on Android you can go ahead and take a phone like maybe like the Galaxy S8 Plus, and right here in this capacitive home button you can see we're ready to go into Google Assistant right there. So let's see if we could do that from the lock screen. We should be able to. So you just hold it down and go right in. So Google Assistant is definitely probably a better experience on Android. Let me know if you want to see iPhone Google Assistant versus Android Google Assistant. I might consider making that video if enough people do request it here. But like I say, yeah, they do have the widget, which is very easily accessible. But remember, anytime you are going to be using Google Assistant for iPhone, you do have to go into the app manually and actually press this mic icon right here. But overall, I do think that the Google Assistant is a very clean design and it works very well here for the iPhone, and definitely they didn't push out no buggy application here. This just is a little bit hobbled because you can't do stuff like basic system functions. You cannot open photos like this, for example. Open Apple Photos.
But I'm still learning.
Open Calendar. So you can see if I do open the Calendar app, it does open, you know, the Google stuff. So if you don't have, for example, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this Google Calendar, and I'm sure it's not gonna go ahead and open the Apple Calendar here once I do this. So let me delete that really quickly here. And now let's go back into the Google Assistant and see this. Open Calendar. So it directs me right to Google. So it doesn't allow you to open Apple-based apps. And you know what? That allows Apple to continue to control its iPhone more heavily on, you know, their Siri functionality. So I really do think Apple had a say in this. You know, I'm sure that they did not want to allow Google Assistant to take too much control of the iPhone, and or else it would be, you know, there would be no reason for you to use Apple Siri service, which is expected to receive updates in the future here at WWDC 2020. 2017. But I do think that Siri still, still is probably better for the iPhone, just to the fact that you can control everything on your iPhone here. Now, search queries, I would still go ahead and download this app and use it for search. I think it's going to be much better here on the iPhone. And actually, this probably will only boost iPhone sales, because now you have the option to use Android Assistant and Apple's Assistant right on the same phone. So that pretty much wraps it up here for me for the Google Assistant for iPhone. I will leave a link to download this guy down below in the description area, so you don't have to go into the App Store, nothing like that. I'll leave it right there in the description area. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this style review of an app review of the Google Assistant. Hit the thumbs up if you did like it. Post your comments what you would like to see going forward. If you would like to see Google Assistant versus Siri, or Google Assistant versus Cortana, or Google Assistant versus Bixby, for example, from the iPhone, or even Google Assistant iPhone versus Google Assistant Android, or updates to this application going forward in the future. Google Assistant is only going to be here to stay. This is another service. This is probably going to reach billions of users within the next couple of years to a few years, already on over 100 million devices. And Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next one, and peace.